Okay, in this video, we're talking about working with sales agents. So I call this the ultimate guide to working with film sales agents because I own a film sales company. And so being on the filmmaker side and the sales agent side, I can see both. The one thing that I would say is you want to communicate in the best way possible, and don't communicate by assuming things are happening or not happening, right? I've had that happen with filmmakers being on the sales side that, will just suddenly send an email like, what's going on, or something like that, instead of going, hey, I just want to follow up, how did that market go, or something like that. And we try to, and I mean, that's us, we try to keep the communication going all the time. Some sales agents you don't hear from. But what I'll say to you as a filmmaker is most likely the sales agent is taking your film, taking it to the market, and showing international buyers. If they're distributing in the U.S., that's a different thing. And so they might be selling to distributors in the U.S. But the bottom line is those deals are the deals that they're closing all over the world or trying to close, right? And the bottom line is if a sales agent has shown your film to X amount of buyers, and maybe they give you that list, maybe not, but they've done it and they've gone to these markets and they've pitched your film, they're doing their job. Because at the end of the day, the buyer has to decide if they want the movie. There's been times where we'll, show a film and 200 buyers will request it over the course of a year, right? And out of those 200 buyers, it depends on the film. Sometimes zero. There's been situations where every buyer was turned off on a movie. Sometimes a couple. Sometimes a ton, right? Sometimes 80% of those buyers are buying or making offers on the movies. So it always depends. But at the end of the day, a sales agent's job is to pitch your film to the buyers, and then they have to watch it and see if it fits in their market, in their territory, right? So I would just suggest that the ultimate guide to working with, if I'm calling this video the ultimate guide to working with sales agents, the best thing that you can do is to try to keep the lines of communication open. Understand that they'll have tons of videos in their library of different films, some of them hundreds, 200s, 300s, whatever it is. They'll have a lot that they're working on, so they have think of all the filmmakers involved that they have to work with. But if you could just be polite and ask certain questions, hey, just want to get an update on accounting, just want to get an update on the can market, how did it go for you? Those things sales agents don't mind. They're fine with following up with people like that. And if they don't get back to you, it's fine to follow up a week later. Not good to follow up the next day. Hey, you didn't get back to my email in 24 hours. Something like, just consistently follow up in a polite way is the best way to do it. The one thing I would advise against is just suddenly flipping out, we haven't sold! That's not necessarily the sales agent's fault, especially if they've pitched the film to tons of buyers. If everybody's passing, unfortunately, I hate to throw this at you, that's your film's fault. If buyers are passing left and right, the sales agent give the best pitch ever. It could be a fantastic trailer, but then the buyer watches the movie and they're disappointed, well, then you're not going to get a sale. And unfortunately, I've seen that happen. So understand that just because a film's not selling, that doesn't mean a sales agent's not doing their job. If they're pitching your film and they're getting it out there, then they are doing their job. So just follow up with polite communication and make sure that they're getting back to you. Hopefully they will as a filmmaker, and you keep those lines of communication open, and hopefully you'll be successful as far as working with them and having a great relationship.